Alright, welcome back to the Cutlass Board Games channel. We recently uploaded a video where I talk about creating the Masters Challenge format, something that is trying to be a parallel experience to Magic the Gathering's Commander format, but in Pokemon, where you've got your partner Pokemon, you have a 100 card singleton deck, and you're doing your best not to brick. But since releasing that video, I've spent a bunch of time building a deck for myself, and I have a little bit of it here that I will be showing off on the screen a little bit better for you to see, where I'm playing a Psychic and Dark type deck with kind of just as many consistency cards as I can make happen. And I'm really excited to get this to the table and get to play this, but I'm going to show it off today so you can have a bit of a look and kind of understand what some of the ideas are when it comes to trying to play a 100 card deck in this format. So first thing, let's have a quick overview look at the deck list. You can see the kind of ratio of Pokemon to items is kind of consistent when it comes to a more standard format. But you can see up the top here, my partner Pokemon is going to be Gengar. Now, when it comes to selecting your partner Pokemon, it has to be basic and it has to be the same Pokemon across two different printings. Now, to get Gengar as a basic Pokemon, because it's normally a stage 2, it's a little bit harder. So you're going to be looking at some of these fancy 2-prizer type ones. And in this, we have Gengar V, which is our Dark type. And then we have Mimikyu and Gengar tag team as our Psychic type. Now, I was thinking a lot about how the tag team ones are supposed to work, and in theory, as long as it shares one of the Pokemon with it, it's technically a Pokemon on the card, then I think it's fine. I think this format is supposed to be for goofy stuff like this, and my intention with the deck is not to be insanely powerful. My intention is just to have like a lot of kind of draw engine stuff so I can continue to be doing things in general. But this is kind of an overview, and then let's actually dig in a little bit and I can start showing off some stuff. This is my exact limitless listing I have for the deck. And so our main guy is the Gengar V. It's kind of just fine. It doesn't actually go too crazy, but it does have the retreat cost of 2. Now, when you're setting up in the MCF format, you're picking one of your 2 partner Pokemon. That one starts active, and the other one is shuffled into the deck. Now, with this one, I have our choice of the Gengar V, which, if I'm confident I can connect with the Forest Sealstone, is a pretty good start, because that means that I'm going to be able to consistently set up. I could go and get something like a Battle VIP Pass, like a Body Puffin, and get my support Pokemon happening. But I'm not super confident that I can make that happen, so it's much more likely that I'm going to lead Gengar and Mimikyu. Now, the Horror House GX attack. So if I'm going first, I attach a Psychic, and then on my second turn, I attach a Psychic, I use the Horror House attack. My opponent can't play any cards from their hand, which is kind of insane, but also we both draw until we have 7 cards in hand. So that's going to be like a really actually helpful consistency tool. So I think this is kind of cool in general. Because originally I was playing 2 printings of Ghastly with the intention of evolving into a Gengar, because I was wanting to play these 2 colors in particular. But let's run through some of the other stuff. We've got the Oricorio GX, where if one of my Pokemon were knocked out during my opponent's last turn, I may draw 3 cards. I can't use more than one Dance of Tribute ability each turn. But that's okay, because the other Dance of Tribute ability is called Flip the Scripts. It's the exact same text, almost. So being able to do stuff like this, where I can have multiples of the same ability on different Pokemon, means that I can have that more consistency. I'm playing this Oricorio because it searches for energy cards. I am really light on energy. I'm playing 20 in total, which is like a 1 in 5 chance to draw, but like a lot of my attacks are pretty light. Like most of it just cost 2. But being able to search for a Pokemon, especially something like Level Ball, bench it, get the 2 Psychic that I need, and then be sorted is pretty good. Then we have the Zoroark GX with Trade, and again, I'm going to have 2 different Pokemon with this ability, but it's discard a card, draw 2. I also have the Leopard with Trade, discard a card, draw 2. The Articuno V, where I discard 2 cards to draw 1. This one's not super great. However, it is helpful getting stuff like Gardevoir online to get Psychic Energy into the bin if I can filter a bunch of Psychic Energy out of my deck. But it's also like slightly better than just having nothing. But also combos really well with the Mew EX because I can like get down my hand size to be able to activate the restart. We then have this Marshadow where if I bench it, each player can shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 4. This is again pretty good for being able to get set up and happening. The Crobat V, where I can draw to 6 if I play it onto my bench. A lot of this is just draw consistency. Then we have the Gengar VMAX, which evolves from our partner Pokemon, where I can attack and do 60 damage to each of my opponent's V and GX, which is really unlikely because this is a format where you're going to see capital EX, lowercase EX, GX, Vs, all of that good stuff. So it's pretty unlikely. But the 250 for 3 is why we play the card. Also, like having 300 HP in this format is going to be kind of crazy. So I figured it was worth including. We have the Forest Steel Stone, which we mentioned earlier, but playing any card that says search your deck, get a thing is insanely important in this format. Magic the Gathering teaches us that being able to search and find a card with something like Demonic Tutor or any of the tutors is so insanely required to be able to do anything that's the reason why we're playing so many Vs. I think it's 3, 4, 5 Vs to try and guarantee that if we get Tool Search, we can Forest Steel Stone and then try and make it happen. As we saw before, we've got the Gardevoir, but we've also got the Refinement Curlier. We're also playing Mysterious Tail Mew. This is a good one if our partner Pokemon gets knocked out. We push the Mew and we can try and find something to recover a little bit. We're playing the Duskull, Dusclops, Curse Blast kind of thing, except we're playing the different Duskull, which is slightly more broken, expanded format one where I can evolve it by discarding 3 cards from my hand, which is pretty good because then that will get like a Dusclops for me immediately and then I can use it right away if I need to. We're then playing Natu Zatu, except this is a cracked Natu where if I knock out a Pokemon with the Natu, I take an extra prize card and it does 10 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if they have something that's got a ton of stuff on it, like in the mirror or whatever, or like any Gardevoir type deck where they're going to stack a bunch of things on there, right? Like that kind of thing where the goal is to get a lot of energy in play. Natsu coming out and being like, donk, I'll take multiple prizes, thank you. It's like a great finisher. It's kind of insane for it just to be the basic, which would otherwise be a nothing Pokemon, for my support to evolve into, right? Like it means that these two are just not dead cards ever, which is really good. And then, Natsu for the Psychic Energy Acceleration is pretty good. Mew X for card draw, Pheasant DPD for card draw, Zacian V, which is our really only Gardevoir focused attacker. Originally I was playing one Drifloon, but it's like Drifloon isn't that good unless if I can find a Bravery Charm. At least with this, I can just put a couple on there and then he can like donk for value. But if I set up on the first turn and I have the Zacian in play, I can accelerate itself instead of being able to attack, which is pretty good. Monkey Dory with the Adrena Brain, this is kind of crazy. And if we have the Gardevoir on the deck, there's a good chance we can put damage counters on our own guys to get value out of it. The Cleffa for the same reason as the Mysterious Tail Mew, that I can push this after my partner gets knocked out and then recover, hopefully. And then Galarian Moltres V. Now this one, different from most of the other things. This is more just a self-sufficient attacker that I can just power up itself and I can just leave it and it can prepare. And I don't have to worry about committing anything to it to make it happen, which is kind of good, I think. All right, now let's look at some items. We are playing like every relevant ball and then Ball Guy. Ball Guy is something that I've obviously picked up from the GLC format, but it's like actually an insane card. And one that I found in my collection that I just happened to have lying around. So I was like, well, I play this card forever now. But also the Cherish Ball, because that finds the Zoric or the Oricorio. Playing a Poffin, playing an Aroma, playing a Fog Crystal, because it gets a Psychic or a basic Psychic Energy. Also playing the Mysterious Treasure, because that also gets a Psychic Pokemon. We're then playing Skylar to search our deck for a trainer card. Once again, search our deck and get something very strong. This one in particular gets a trainer card, so it could be a stadium, could be an item, could be a supporter, which is pretty good. We're playing TM Evo because we have a bunch of stage 1 supporters, but this is going to be pretty strong. And if we're going second, finding the TM Evo and activating it is going to be really good. Tag Call. Now this one is to go and get 2 tag team cards, which would be our Guzma and Hala, or if we decide to start Gengar V, we can search for our Gengar Mimikyu. We have Gladion, same as the Hisuian Heavy Ball, to get cards out of the prizes. Evolution Incense, VSC card. This is in like every single GLC deck, and playing with it, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna never ever not play this card. It's really good. I also found one of these in my collection. I actually really like it. Reveal cards on the top of your deck to reveal a supporter card, put it in your hand, shuffle the other cards back in your deck. Guaranteed to get a supporter out of your deck. It's like slightly better than Poker Gear, because Poker Gear's got a pretty good chance of missing in a 100 cards. I'm playing both of them, but this one at least is a guaranteed hit. And like it's thinning and all that good stuff. Then we just have like some more draw stuff, like the Colress's draw stuff. I'm trying to play as many draw card supporters as possible, because you're trying to filter through 100 cards is a bit harder. If you got the Iono. We've also got Piers, which searches for a energy and a dark type. Because I'm playing a low count of energy, being able to search it, I think is really important. We have Raihan, and we have like every punish my opponent for having cards in hand card. Iono, Roxanne, Marnie, and N as well. We're playing some catches. Earthen Vessel and Professor's Ladder to get the energy out of our deck. I think playing 2 is pretty good. If there was a third one, I think that would be as good. Maybe I'd add it as well. Trainer's Mail again, thinning. And then I'm playing like every bicycle effect for the same reason. Like we've got to get through 100 cards, we might as well. Spin through it. We have Rosa again, searching for trainer cards. Gloria, which is a really good setup card. Red's Challenge, which I actually really like, is the same. I get to search for any card. Silene for recovery, but also in this format, when you're putting it on top of your deck, it's like actually kind of really helpful. And then we've got Evo Soda, because we do have a couple of stage 1s. This is like actually really strong. This is probably my #1 tutor target most of the time, especially on the first turn, because then I can like go on turn Natu when it was Natu or whatever. Get my Zorak online. And for the same reason, that's why I'm playing Boost Shake. Boost Shake does the same thing, but I can go and evolve something my turn ends. So I really only want to be using this on the first turn. So if I am shooting on the first turn, I'm getting Boost Shake. If I'm shooting any time after that, I'm getting Evo Soda. We have the Artisan. This is our only stadium currently. There's a few other options, and I ended up just vowing over consistency and picking this one. The Feather Ball, Sonya, again, more energy search, and then the Professor's Research. And then we're playing 15 Psychic Energy, 5 Darkness Energy. And that's currently what I'm looking at. The goal is to be able to dig through my deck as much as possible, try and assemble something like the Gardevoir, which is going to be really strong, and that turns on some of my attackers like Mew EX can, you know, get into the red zone. Oricorio GX like does actually kind of have some relevant attacks potentially. Putting energy onto the Gengar and Mimikyu doesn't hurt that much. So I think this is going to be kind of fun. I'm actually really excited to get into this format. This is my first attempt at building a deck, so we're going to see how it goes. There's a few others that I am interested in brewing a little bit to see how it all comes together. But let me know, what partner Pokemon do you think is going to be really excited to cook with? Because I've been looking at a couple, and there's some pretty interesting color combinations you can get depending on which Pokemon you pick, like Greninja with the Water or Dark, or I was looking at Reshiram as Dragon or Fire, which I think also might be fun. So I don't know, let me know if you're excited to check out this format, because I know I am. And then hopefully I'll have some gameplay footage of this format soon, because I am looking forward to getting some games happening. But hopefully I'll see you then.